So in this video I am going to be sharing with you the success I was able to find in my Etsy shop in 2024. So today I want to share with you 3 key takeaways that I learned, and it's something that I really do believe that these are the 3 things, because I did not stick by those 3 things in the beginning of this year and my shop has really suffered because of it. So going into my dashboard, I just want to show you kind of how the year looked. So as you can see from 2024, you can see there were basically no visits, so you could tell not much going on. And in terms of orders, a few orders, 1 or 2 orders every month. It peaked in April because I was in a profession that was evergreen, but the sales do peak in April. So I got a few more sales or orders in that month. But yeah, as you can see, mostly crickets, not much going on at all in the first half of 2024. And just to also look back at the overall start of my shop from 2022, you can see I had literally 100 visits in all of 2022. That's probably because I started my shop quite late in 2022, and then in 2023 again averaging every month from 100 visits, and then as you can see, such a drastic increase in 2024 because of the last 6 months. And I'm just showing this because it just gives you an idea as to kind of how things can change and how things do look like in the beginning, and that it is possible, even if you don't believe it now, to just see that drastic change. And just quickly going over the revenue part of 2024, you can see in 2024 how the revenue was made mostly from July to December. And just a quick point, we can see with the orders that in October up to December my orders were gradually increasing, from September to December. But we can also see that in terms of revenue, I actually made less revenue in December than I did in September. And the reason probably for this is because I was testing out different products from September. And that meant that it slowed down the process, because obviously I was doing new market research, learning how to create designs for those particular products, mainly being candles and sipper glasses. What really I found helped me grow my shop, I think if I had to break it down to 3 things, it would be firstly planning ahead and way in advance, around 90 days in advance. And I would say that that's what I did in my shop. As you can see, the increase started to happen way back in July, and these were all things that were meant to be selling for October and December. Now, I have not done that in the beginning of 2025, and my shop has suffered from it. I have been trying to get into niches a bit too late, and trying to jump on to, the sale train of whatever's going on in a few weeks, and the algorithm hasn't got enough time to really understand if my Etsy listing is worth showing to customers. So, and also the reason for this is not only just to be ready, but it's because the process of from start to finish is quite long. You have to do your market research, then you have to create designs, and then you have to wait to get data back from Etsy to understand if those designs are being liked or seen by people, so that you could create more of those and double down. And those things take a few weeks, if not a month. And then you want another few weeks to be able to add more to it, so that at least 4 weeks before the event, you're ready to maximize on the sales and you have the biggest bucket ready to capture everything possible. And I would kind of leave creating anything after 4 weeks to the peak of the sale period. And to the second point, would be to get 3 niches that you're going to be publishing in that are evergreen and seasonal, that, like I said, will be selling in the 90 days, and there will be a peak of sales for that niche, and focus on those 3 and rotate. Because also when you are designing, you do have to, you know, cater to that niche in terms of the color scheme, in terms of what elements work, and how you can implement that into a trending design template, like all of these kind of components, and it can just slow you down the more you get into. So I wouldn't say just do 1, but if you have a 3, even 4, then it allows you to be in enough niches, but also you're not spreading yourself thinly in terms of focus and getting better at the design process or understanding what works for that niche. The last thing that really helped me, and it ties into what I just spoke about, but it's design. Now, for a long time, because of the other online ventures I was doing, I was focusing on or I was using Adobe Illustrator with Canva, and it was only recently that I started using Kittle for t-shirt designs, and honestly it's a game changer for me. I feel like it's much more quicker, it's easier. I'm obviously not going between the 2 of Adobe and Canva. There's a lot of things on there that I see on Etsy that I can just do instantly with Kittle, and I know that when you do get used to like a design app or software, you just want to stick to that because you're used to it, especially when you don't have a design background. But trust me, that first week of using it, or that first week or 2 of being slow with it, will really pay in the future. And yeah, those 3 things really did help me grow my shop. Thank you for sticking around for my first YouTube video. If you want to also follow me on my Etsy journey and see how I also get better at filming myself, then please stick around, or I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!